everybody. And I say reading, my kids had difficulty remembering my name, Wolfberg. Kids call me Wolfman. Culture seeping into their sordid little existences. I had a kid first day of school 1 year call me Wolf Butt. Certainly a reasonable mistake for a child to make. Kids say, "Hey, Wolf Butt, we got homework tonight." And I said, "The name is not Wolf Butt, it's Wolfberg, and what's more, it is Mr. Wolfberg." And the kid said, "How am I supposed to know you're married?" Then they gave me the slow class for 6 consecutive years, and not special, just slow. I used to think of them as stationary, motionless. They grouped them according to intelligence tests, and the whole concept of intelligence testing amused me because at the low end of the spectrum, they used to have categories that were called, in order, moron, imbecile, and bottom out with idiot. And this amused me because conceivably you could have an imbecile working very hard to become a moron. I could imagine a kid running home one day saying, "Ma, I'm a moron." "Good, we knew you could do it. And don't play with the Johnson boy. He's an idiot." 6 consecutive years, slow. I had a kid, Frank Bailey. First day of school, we fill out standard roll book information. I said, "Frank, tell me your birthday." He says, "March the 21st. I said, "What year?" He says, "Every year." How stupid of me not to have known you would have a birthday every year. I apologize profusely. What an oversight. EY, thank you very much. I had every kind of educational problem you could imagine. A truancy was like a pastime in the Bronx, and my kids would come in with brazen excuses. Now, I taught 6th grade. I had a kid who missed 2 days and told me he'd had a stroke, and I congratulated him on a remarkable recovery to be back in school 2 days after a stroke. What a commitment to education. I had one kid who missed 3 weeks and told me he'd been on jury duty. Can you believe it? They assume you believe anything. I would, as in writing, I would teach them how to write what you call original research reports. And I say original despite the fact in 12 years I never got anything handed in that even remotely qualified as original. You give them a subject, they go to the nearest encyclopedia, and they become stenographers. And they hand this in assuming you cannot detect plagiarism. I had a kid, James Tucker, who handed in a report on the country Peru that began with the sentence, now get this, "Peru is epistemologically," 6th grade, "attempting to deal with the long-range effects of a protracted economic depression." I say to myself, might this be copied? Who's to say? This kid is functionally subliterate, cannot distinguish a fish from a tree, but what a vocabulary. Tucker, who came into my class as a transfer student from a prison release program. What a welcome addition to my roster. With a note from the guidance counselor that said you must gear the curriculum to meet his needs. I figured I'll teach him plea bargaining. This is something he'll need. I'll teach him how to write a ransom note. This is something that'll certainly come in handy. If you ever want to see your son alive again, comma. Thank you very much. Very, very nice.
That is great. Terrific. You made me laugh, as always. Very funny.
Thank you.
Nice to have you back in L.A. Last time I saw you, I think it was at your house about a month ago. I was down visiting you and the new baby.
We have a little baby. In fact, while my wife was pregnant, she told me she couldn't feel the baby kick, but she could feel its eyes bulge. So, reasonably certain it's mine.
And the baby's real cute, named Daniel, if I'm not mistaken, right?
We named him Daniel. According to the Jewish tradition for naming babies, Jewish people, well, Daniel is a biblical name, and Jewish people frequently will give the baby a biblical name, such as my cousin Snake. From the Old Testament, I don't know if you're familiar. Not always. Occasionally, if not using the Bible, Jewish people will name the baby after someone who has died a little before the baby is born, such as my other cousin, who we named Grandpa. But we had Daniel. We had a boy. We called him Daniel. Were we to have had a girl, my wife wanted to call him Sue. which is a lovely name, but which for Jews is generally a verb. Just a joke.
Well, Dennis, thank you very much. You're very funny as always. Thanks for being here. Dennis Wolfberg. And we'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.